The NBA postseason is heating up. The Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals have been solidified. 4 teams have made it to the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals, and neither one of these teams have won a championship in the last century. And one of the Atlanta Hawks have got something to say about this, because honestly, there is no way he says this, but we have definitely got to dive into it and how all of these teams getting into the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals and all that other jazz has anything to do with the Atlanta Hawks. I am going to be here to dive into all of that. But before we get into this any further, what's going on, everybody? My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and we're going to go ahead and dive into it, man, and talk about it. Today is kind of laid back a little bit, man, because it's a little bit of some drama, if you will. You know what I mean? We're being a little messy today, so we definitely want to make sure that you guys are tuned in and tapped into what we got going on. Really quickly, thanks to all of you guys that have been listening to our content, have been viewing the videos, have been commenting, and definitely has been sharing the information as well. So please do continue. And to those that have not joined on the bandwagon, trust me, there's no love lost. We would definitely want you guys to be over on this side of things. Definitely keep in contact with us, because of course myself, Chris Tillmore, and everybody over in Digest Media, we're geared to give you guys some good information, man, and some good content. We don't want to just be clickbaiting you guys, you dig? So we definitely want to get right into it. Now, the NBA playoffs have, been interesting, just to be completely honest, from LeBron James exiting and, Steph Curry, all of the people that we know now. It just seems as if it's almost like a changing of the guard, or a changing of how things are so far. So it's different. It's good to see different players and different teams and stuff like that. Right now, Eastern Conference Finals, you got the New York Knickerbockers, or the Pants, if you will, and the Indiana Pacers. They're going to be taking on each other this Tuesday, as well as the OKC Thunder taking on Anthony Edwards, an Atlanta native, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So definitely things have been wrapping up and things have been shaping up. So definitely excited for all of that. But how in the world does this correlate to the Atlanta Hawks and what they got going on? Well, I am glad that you asked, and I cannot wait to tell you, because this man has something to say about all of it, and I am here for it. I love to see Trae Young when he's in this mode right now. It's almost like we love to hate him in a sense, and I love to see him in that light, if you will. Now, Trae has been trolling. He's definitely been trolling the New York Knicks fans and things of that such for a long time. And so we've seen Trae Young, of course, on social media, if you will, talking about the New York Knicks fans, and really it's his beef versus the New York Knicks fans. But ultimately, Trae Young was found on Twitter yesterday during the Oklahoma City Thunder game versus the Denver Nuggets. And of course, Trae Young said, hot take, but not. OKC fans are louder than Knicks fans. And listen, this isn't the only time we've seen Trae Young trolling the Knicks.
I hope these New York fans find their way to the exit real quick. Boo, take y'all ass home.
yeah, exactly. Trae Young has definitely trolled him there. We can even go so far as here. The bow, I mean, come on, the bow was something. It just, again, in that 2021 playoffs, the bow really just put the knife in a little bit further. And then not only that, but Trae Young rolling the dice during the not play in, but the in-season tournament. Trae Young rolling the dice, basically telling the Knicks that, hey, Atlanta's going to be going to Las Vegas. You guys aren't, so I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice, almost as if he's shooting craps and things of that such. So, yeah, Trae Young doing that. I mean, you see Jalen Brunson right there taking that. Listen, I love this because, for one, it's fun to pick on the Knicks. Because you get what you get now. The New York Knicks right about now, they're doing an awesome job, and their fans are rabid, just to put it simple. These guys have lost their ever-loving minds, it seemed like, but I'm entertained by it. I love seeing how the Knicks fans respond to the fact that their team is in the Eastern Conference playoffs. But definitely to get this man to join in on the conversation and kind of mess around and kind of stir the pot, if you will, I'm here for that too. I am here for that as well. Now, let me go ahead. I did some research, and I wanted to show you guys just how that plays out, and if Trae Young is actually right, or if he's just bull jobbing us and trying to get under the skin of Knicks fans, which I think his existence only does that, just being completely honest. But if you look at the average home game for the Knicks, it's about 19,799 people in attendance. Their max capacity is 19,812. So obviously, like 13 people away from being at max capacity, and the fire marshal would have to, come in and say something. But then we go to Oklahoma City Thunder. Their average home attendance is about 17,972. And their max capacity is 18,203. So you can see Trae Young was wrong. I don't even think he cares that he was absolutely incorrect in that statement. I think he's just saying how him watching the game. Listen, Trae Young, I love it that he's having fun with these guys. I think the Hawks definitely need to have some fun just in regards to how these teams are shaping out. Now, I also wanted to bring up a fact that the Atlanta Hawks have fared well versus these two teams that are in the Eastern Conference Finals, okay? Who are the teams, of course? Yes, the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton and crew, and the New York Knicks. Now, when you look at the season split between these two teams, you kind of see how that the Atlanta Hawks, they were able to get wins when needed to, or they at least kept the game extremely close. I'm looking at the New York Knicks season record versus the Atlanta Hawks. They ended the record versus the Hawks 3-2. And the Hawks got out on a early run on these guys, if you will, beating the Knicks 121-116. Of course, that was the famous line that you guys got.
I hope these New York fans find their way to the exit real quick.
Right. Yeah, the whole need to find the exit real quick. Then, of course, I think what was this? December 11th. I want to say that was the play-in tournament game. I don't know if they listed that in the regular season series. Now, if they didn't, then that would be interesting because the Knicks and the Hawks basically split. I'd have to go back and check and see. But, the Hawks won 2 games. But then if I look to the other 3 games that the Hawks had versus the Knicks, 119-110, 148-149, 121-105. What that says to me is that these guys match up very well. These two teams match up very well, and they will fight. You dig what I'm saying? I don't see too many games where either team just blows the other team out of the water or just puts them to shame. But the Knicks, they're catching fire right now. They're really the best team in basketball right now. And I feel as though, again, the Atlanta Hawks, they were right there during the season. Now, on the Pacers end of things, the Atlanta Hawks actually won that season series, beating the Pacers 2 games out of 3. The Pacers got the first win, if you will, beating the Hawks 127-132. 132-127, however you want to put it. But the Hawks were able to quickly get back, beating the Pacers 124-118, 120-118. So again, the Atlanta Hawks, they are capable of winning, and they're capable of winning against these two teams. And I bring that up to say that the way things are shaping on the Atlanta Hawks side, of course, fortunately, we got rid of our former general manager, Landry Fields, his name escaped me for a second, but we got rid of him for Ansai Salah. I think they're still searching, and I'm hoping that they do land on someone that they plan on bringing in for president of basketball operations. So I do hope that they narrow down the decision for that. But we do still have 2 selections in the first round going into the draft next month, 6 weeks away. And then on top of that, bringing those guys in with Zaccharie Risacher, Trae Young, Dyson Daniels. We getting Jalen Johnson back. We got Onyeka Okongwu at the start. Mo Gay is going into his third year with the Atlanta Hawks, and I feel as though he is developed very well coming from the Skyhawks to the Atlanta Hawks lineup, at least going down the stretch of the season. I am confident in what the product is being presented for the Atlanta Hawks. What I am looking for now is some type of leadership from the organization and from the front office. Again, hopefully the Atlanta Hawks do land on a candidate for president of basketball operations. Again, some have said that Masai Ujiri is somebody that the Atlanta Hawks are heavily pursuing. So again, that could possibly be someone that will be here in Atlanta. All in all, I say this to say the Atlanta, I'm okay with what I see. I'm actually in good support of the New York Knicks and the Pacers. I feel like that series, it goes to anyone. Just being completely honest, there are some heavy hitters in this game, in this matchup. There's a heavy hitters in the series, and I'm excited to see who's going to be coming out of the East. But all in all, next year, the Atlanta Hawks, they've got something to say about it, and I know Trae Young definitely had a good time saying what he said about the New York Knicks. My name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and I am signing out. Y'all take it easy, people. Peace.